and welcome to tonight's ASMR video, where we'll be taking a look again at some JoyToy Warhammer 40,000 action figures. Tonight we'll be taking a look at some figures from the Chaos Space Marine line that JoyToy have made, specifically those from the Black Legion. So here's the first figure. There was no name on the box for this figure, but there was a collector's card inside the box which declared his name to be Talas. On his left shoulder pauldron is the symbol of the Black Legion, and on his right is a golden skull. So the Black Legion follow the dark corrupting powers of chaos. Chaos is a primordial force that exists contemporaneous to the real universe, and its demons originate in a parallel space called the Warp. The Black Legion were originally loyal to the Emperor of Mankind and took part in his great crusade to unify the galaxy, but they fell into the worship of the Dark Gods through the actions of their Primarch Horus. The Black Legion were originally the 16th Legion of Space Marines, and they were known as the Lunar Wolves, I think because the original Space Marines fought in the pacification of Luna, or as we would know it, the Moon. After the defeat of an Orc Empire at the planet Ulanor, a triumph was held, and Horus, their Primarch, was declared War Master, and the Legion changed its name to the Sons of Horus. Then, after Horus's failed attempt to overthrow the Emperor as the master of mankind in his assault on Terra, or Earth as we would know it, the Sons of Horus became fragmented into smaller warbands and were eventually reunited through the will of their first captain, Abaddon, who renamed them the Black Legion. Let's take a look at the second figure. The second figure is a Terminator, who the card inside the box proclaimed as named Bathalor. Unfortunately, there are some quality control issues with this figure. The trophy rack spike here is bent out of shape. That should be fixable with a bit of heat. So is this one slightly, but this one arrived broken. So I might need to contact the company that supplied me with this figure and see about getting a replacement. Bathalor is a Terminator, which means he wears tactical dreadnought armor. Originally, the elite Sons of Horus Terminators were known as the Justirin, and that name actually came from a misidentification of Terminators in the collected art book of the Horus Heresy, known as Visions of Heresy, where a Sons of Horus art playing card art was mistakenly identified with the name of an Emperor's Children playing card art, the Justinian. The Emperor's Children tend to have more Latin, Roman names and feel to their iconography, or originally did before they were corrupted, whereas the Sons of Horus have more brutal names. But Justinian stuck after it was enshrined in Black Library novels, and Justinian is the name now for the elite Terminators of the Horus Heresy, belonging to the Sons of Horus. I don't know if this Terminator was a Justinian himself, but his armour suggests later variations in Terminator plate. There's the Eye of Horus on his chest piece, and he comes with a bare head, but there's an optional tusked helm in the box. He's armed with a storm bolter, or a combi bolter I should say, and a power fist. There's some nice chains hanging here, and also behind his tabard. I think all of the Black Legion figures have unique markings on the trim around their armour, with leering demonic faces, skulls, teeth, and so on, and the Eye of Horus. Quite a nice figure, but I need to get in touch with the company that made it about potentially having a replacement or refund. So there's limited articulation in the power fist, and it's in a pointing pose. The other hand swivels more easily. Some nice shading on the skull here. The grim trophy that the Terminator Battlelord carries into battle. So, the Black Legion are the predominant force of Chaos Space Marines by the time of the 41st millennium, largely due in part to the work of Abaddon, their leader, who conducts a number of sorties into imperial space known as the Black Crusades for various reasons. His 13th Black Crusade was successful, and he defeated the forces of the Imperium at the Cadian Gate, destroying the planet Cadia and creating a rift in warp and real space known as the Cicatrix Maledictum, which plagues the Imperium and divides it in two. The grills on the vents on the back of the armour aren't even, which is nice. They're obviously sculpted that way. More spiky, as befits a Chaos Terminator. Let's take a look at our final figure. Now, this figure is a icon bearer, but it did not come with a card that explained the name of it. I will get the boxes out at the end of this video for you to take a look at. They're plainer than subsequent releases would be, and they don't have photographs of the separated accessories for the figure. So this figure has skulls on one shoulder pad and a Black Legion symbol on the other. He is armed with a bolt pistol, which can be placed in either hand due to there being separate gripping and pistol triggered fingers in the box, and as well as a bolt pistol with a chain fed number of bolts. He has the second signature weapon of a Space Marine, a serrated chain sword with, in this case, some teeth that aren't the metallic components of the chainsword itself, but are more embellishments and possibly corruptions of chaos. The figures I've shown you all have these red tabards with highlighting on, another demonic face on his knee, some straps around his holster for his bolt pistol, grenades on his back, crack and frag. And his head is posable in a variety of ways. Then on the back is his icon, atop his backpack's power pack. Again, it shows the Eye of Horus and has little skulls inside it and around it. Quite a nice figure. Okay, let's take a little look at the boxes that the figures came in. So this is the unnamed Icon Bearers box. More plain than the Imperial Space Marine figures that I've shown. Although the back in this case does show accessories. I think the other two boxes do not. And there's some posing options. Here we have the Chaos Terminator's box with the spike that should be on his trophy rack. There were no accessories with this figure, although actually there was a separate head, but that isn't shown at his feet, as would be the case in later releases. And finally we have Talas's box. Unlike the other Chaos Space Marine, this has a coloured background. The unnamed Icon Bearer had a black background to his box. And again, the accessories aren't shown at the feet of the figure in this box. But there's a kneeling pose there, perhaps in worship to the Dark Gods or a senior officer of the Black Legion. A running pose and a shot of his back. Let's take one final look at all the figures together. So here we have Talas, the icon bearer first, Talas on your right, and the Chaos Terminator in the center. Talas doesn't want to stand up. And there they are. They should be worthy foes for my Imperial Space Marines to face in battle poses. I have ordered a diorama to display my figures in, and I'll have the Imperials on one side, I think, facing off against the Chaos Space Marines on another. I hope you enjoyed this ASMR look at my Black Legionaries. I intend making more videos as more action figures arrive, and already have a few up for my Imperial Space Marines. I hope you get peaceful rest and sleep, and enjoy whatever comes next in the day to come. Goodbye.